When you think about games at a theme park, you probably don't think about them very fondly. I mean, theme park games are notoriously unfair, rigged, and designed to exhume every cent from your wallet. And you go through all this just to win a meager prize that costs cents to the dollar to make in China. Despite being sold as good old-fashioned fun, they really are perhaps the greatest evil of theme parks.
Explain how some of these games work. In short, they're designed already stacked against you.
But as you've probably already figured out, there's a trick to why you can't win.
But Universal Studios Orlando in 1999 went against every single theme park game convention and stereotype to create the greatest theme park game to ever exist. That game being You Bet Jurassic! And this is not just a game, folks, this is a game show. But not a game show that you might typically expect to find in a theme park. There's no waits, there's no waivers, there's no massive time commitment, and there's no performing in front of a live studio audience. This is just good old-fashioned, casual, incredible fun. And you can go ahead and kiss all those typical theme park game problems goodbye, because this game is free to play, it's not trying to get any money out of your pockets, and there's not a single scam in sight, because you're not competing against the house, you're competing against your fellow guests. And which means there is always a winner, and not, in the sort of consolation prize sort of way, but in the you always have a winner for that grand prize. So let's just get into what the game is. Well, it's a high production game show themed around Jurassic Park, based in Islands of Adventure's Jurassic Park Discovery Center. The game, simply put, is a dinosaur trivia show. That's it. It's as simple as it gets. It's hosted by Dr. Gene Poole, who's a heck of a paleontologist, if I do say so myself.
But let's not talk about me, let's talk about you, and how you can help me make history today with the Time Rover.
And the game allows for 3 contestants to go at once, representing blue, green, and puce. Puce. Did anyone know this was a color? Because that gets into my next point, which is the fact that this game is educational. Of course, being a trivia game, you learn quite a lot. And the first thing that I learned when playing this game is that puce is a color. I had no idea. I mean, you think back to Walt Disney's Epcot, the whole goal of that park was to educate and inform guests while also providing an entertaining experience. And though many attractions at Epcot fell short of this ideal, I can tell you right now, Universal's You Bet Jurassic embodies this ideal to this day, while Epcot themselves has abandoned this pursuit with new attractions that have no educational value whatsoever. On top of the interesting dino facts you're going to pick up while playing this game, it also provides some educational value in an unintentional way because the show is a bit dated. Of course, it did come out in 1999, so there are a lot of questions and answers that are dated back in that time period. So if you're playing it today and you don't necessarily have all the 90s knowledge, well, hey, you're going to pick up a little bit of that because who the hell is Kenny G? On the note of stupid answer choices, this game has a great sense of humor. I mean, there are hilarious bits and visuals and commentary interspliced in between each question and answer.
Fossil dinosaur bones. Not so, though. Anyone who still owns Amusement probably is close to being a fossil themselves.
I mean, who doesn't love shooting the heads off of dinosaurs when you get a question right? This isn't baby's first theme park game, I'll tell you that much. And speaking of having a great sense of humor, let's just not forget this game is meant to be taking place in Jurassic Park. You are literally supposed to be in Jurassic Park while you are playing this game. And let me tell you, this game is incredibly immersive in pulling that off. Of course, obviously, as we've established, the game concept certainly fits the bill as something that would exist in Jurassic Park, making lightheartedness out of man-killing beasts that are literally standing right outside the front door. And the game has perhaps the greatest sponsorship of all time. The show is sponsored by Hess, a company that lives, breathes, and dies on crude oil, a fossil fuel that of course comes from the remains of dinosaurs. which is hilarious because you have a dinosaur parading around with a smiling face saying, "Yay, Hess, yay, they're using my dead body to power their organization, yay." It doesn't get better than that, folks. Back on the topic of the game mechanics, the great thing about this game is that it is also informational in the sense that even when you get a question wrong, it doesn't just say, "Oh, you're wrong, moving on." It'll actually stop the game and say, "This is why that answer was wrong." Which is great because you get to learn something, but it's also great because the game schools you and tells you why you're an idiot in front of your fellow contestants, which is just hilarious.
TV respects me. It laughs with me, not at me.
Sorry, but any booms in the love bit would be incinerated.
You stupid.
But don't let these comments get to you, because the host will provide you with plenty of motivational speeches throughout the show for those of you who are in dead last, inspiring you to get your head back in the game and say, "You know what? I can win. You bet Jurassic. I bet I can. I bet I can."
Like that's ever gonna happen. What a load of...
Oh, and would you look at the time, folks? It's time for today's sponsor. This video is sponsored by BP. If they didn't let an oil spill that killed thousands of wildlife and tainted the Gulf of Mexico for generations get them down, then there's no reason why you should get down in this game even if you got every single question wrong. Be like BP. Don't give up, even if you were responsible for a massive man-made disaster. And here's the thing, the fact of the matter is, you literally can always win the game, because with each question, the points scale up in a way to even if you had 0 points come the last question, you could in theory still win the game. Now, wait a minute, doesn't that mean that this game does have scamming, it does have rigging? You said it didn't have that. Well, hold up, folks. That may be true if you're an idiot. If you are a trivia mastermind like me and engage in the trivial pursuit on a daily basis, you will dominate. And I don't know about you guys watching, but for me, the greatest part about any game is when I win. There is no better feeling. And you may be saying, "Oh, well, I don't need to be a trivia mastermind to win this game. It's a video game. It's a recorded game that has set questions. I can just learn what the answers to all the questions are and just cheat my way to the top." No, wrong, you can't, because this game has a massive library of questions. It's not the same questions every single time, so you cannot cheese your way to victory. And even if you did have a website that had every single answer on it, which, before you even think about it, does not exist, this game has no online presence whatsoever. Why do you think I'm using footage from the same exact video over and over again? There's nothing on this game online. This game is whoever buzzes in with the correct answer first wins. So guess what? While you're fiddling around with your phone trying to find the answer, I've already locked in the correct answer and earned the points. So stay in your lane, buddy. Keep the cheesin' for Chester. So you played, I won, and we're wondering, what about the prize? You said there was a grand prize at the end of this. Well, there is. It's the greatest prize of all. It's not a material prize. It's not a physical prize, but it is the prize of all intellectual bragging rights against your entire party or group for the rest of your vacation. Go ahead and try telling me we're going to ride Cat in the Hat next when I just beat you to a pulp and you bet Jurassic. Nice try, buddy. I'm the captain now.
Bud, you bring the stuff?
It's right here, huh?
Show it.
It's
Show
right,
it.
it's right here.
Show it.
It's right here.
Show it.
It's right there.
And if you're still not convinced this game is goated, let's just not forget that Universal, when they opened up Velocicoaster in 2021, gutted much of the downstairs area of the Jurassic Park Discovery Center. And yet, they left You Bet Jurassic in place. They could have easily done away with it and made more room for lockers and for merchandise and all this other stuff that they wanted to put in down there. But no, they kept it because they knew it was the greatest thing their company had ever created. However, the sad part is that nobody really plays this anymore. And I get it, when you have a trivia monster like me lurking in the shadows who's going to embarrass you if you step up against me in this game, you probably don't even want to play. I get it, but I'm not there every day, and this game is fantastic as I've just gone through. And yet, nobody really plays it, and part of the reason for that is because, well, I think a lot of people, the vast majority, don't even know it's here. So I'm hoping after listening to my description here today that you go ahead, you give this game a shot, so that way we can get more victims for me. I mean, players, guys, players. of this game, so that way we can actually fill in the spots on this game. We don't have one poor kid playing by himself. And perhaps we can even fill in these spaces in line behind them. Yes, these blocks on the ground, that was Universal putting those in, assuming that people were going to line up to play this game. Yeah, that didn't happen. But maybe we can get it there one day. One day, if people actually believe that they have a chance to win, you bet Jurassic! Which, if I'm playing, you won't stand a chance. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you agree this is the greatest game ever made in a theme park? You better. Anyways, see you all next time. Bye.